Good morning, Standard 7. My name is Grace Prasad, and I'm going to be a biology teacher. I'm going to teach only biology to Standard 7, and I'm going to take the very first chapter, plant tissues. And the topic for my chapter is meristematic and permanent tissues, I will discuss. And you people must have done tissue chapter, must have done in Standard 6 biology also, right? So let us hear what is the definition of a tissue. Must know word to word. Look at my camera is showing this, right? Tissue can be defined as group of cells, more or less. Keep it in your mind. Alike in size. That means similar in size and shape. And when they are similar in size and shape, so definitely they perform the same function and having a common origin. Is that clear? That is we are talking about tissues. This is a common definition for tissues. Now we are talking about the plant tissues, right? So we have got plant tissues, a multicellular body, and it is meant for performing the different types of functions. We don't have the one type of the tissues, right? Different type of tissues. So means some cells, it's a group of cells na. So some cells, they are specialized for transportation of water and mineral salts observed by the roots through the plant body to the from the xylem to all parts of the plant, right? So some cells are specialized for translocation of food. That means they have to transport the food prepared by the leaves to all parts of the plant through phloem tissue. That xylem and the phloem tissue we will discuss in our next class, right? So that is it, sir. So on the other hand, so some plants, they are meant, plant cells, group of cells, they are meant for growth of the plant, and this makes the meristematic tissues, growth of the plant only, right? And that is it, sir. And multicellular plants like herbs, shrubs, trees, different types of tissues, they combine and they form the complex tissues, organs like leaves, stem, root, flowers, and fruits. Now, plant tissues, they are very much classified into meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. My topic is today only about the, I'm going to only talk about the meristematic tissues. If time permits, I'll talk permanent tissue, otherwise, let it be the next class. I'll go literally very slowly. Meristematic tissues definition. Just see that camera is there on that text. It is a group of actively, I'll be looking for this word, actively dividing cells, and can be asked the location, mainly located at the growing tips of roots, stems, and leaves. I can ask you the location of the meristematic tissues. So you have to tell that tips of the, not in roots or stem. Don't write, if you write in roots, stem, you lose marks. Tips word, growing tips, word I'll be looking for. Is that clear, Standard 7? Right? So that was about the definition of meristematic tissues. Let's talk about now the types of meristematic tissues, right? Till you don't have the textbook, some of you I heard have not purchased the textbook. I request you kindly go for your textbooks as early as possible. Is that clear? So we have got three types of the meristematic tissues: apical meristem, lateral meristem, and intercellary meristem. Apical meristem, look at their location now. Here, location is called found tips of the shoots and roots, right? Then I can ask the function. It brings about elongation of stem and roots. What is a apical means tips? Lateral means look at that, found beneath the bark, and the side, that means side portions of the shoots and roots. And the main leads function is to increase the diameter of the plant organs. Then intercellary meristem, where is the location? At the base of the internodes, right? Its main function, produce the increase in the length of the plant organs. So look at that. The definition, when I talk about the apical meristem, lateral meristem, or the intercellular meristem, I'm keep on telling you where is the location and what is the function. I'll be discussing all that. Like now, the general function of the meristem tissues. That means cells of the meristem tissues, they are small in size, they are spherical, longitudinal or oval in shape. Then each cell has a very thin cell wall. Then they have got compactly arranged without any intercellular spaces. Then each cell contains large and conspicuous nucleus. That means conspicuous nucleus means ki like nice big large nucleus which is surrounded by the abundant cytoplasm. Right? Vacuoles are absent in meristemic tissues. So, I mean, all that you should know about, since you must have done the structure of the cell. So, that is why we are talking about the nucleus, and that is why we are talking about the and if you have done must have done the structure of the plants, you must have done the nodes and internodes, right? And that is it, sir. This is a beautiful diagram which is showing the apical meristem compactly arranged, how it is exactly like what are the structures, right? And I would like you to write down in your biology notebook when you start, give the heading chapter 1, and then you'll start writing. Plant tissue is the topic, that is itself. Then start writing first types of meristemic tissues, that is the first part in biology notebook. This is the one side ruled book, right? And if you have not purchased, I kindly request you do that as early as possible, right? I want you to write down this, start writing this. That's your assignment I'm giving you. Give the headache types of meristem tissues and then start writing apical meristem, lateral meristem, intercellular meristem, and just write down how it is written there. Then this is the common general characteristics. Just write down of meristem tissues. General characteristics, then write down. And then my next topic you have to write down is functions of meristem tissues. Now, these cells of meristem tissues divide continuously, right? And help in increasing in length and girth of the plant. That means girth means diameter of the plant. That is how it is become in circular, how it is growing. That is itself. And meristem tissues continuously form a number of new cells continuously. Now, my next topic is permanent tissues, right? Permanent tissues, they develop from the nude cells, that is, which are divided by the meristem tissues. Meristem tissues is actively dividing, permanent means permanent like. So, they are permanent, are larger and do not divide further. They don't divide. Permanent means. That is why they are called permanent tissues, right? What is actually structure is they have got the definite form and size, and a thin or thick walled with a very little or no cytoplasm at all, large vacuoles, and they are completely dead cells and are adapted to perform some special functions in the plants. Now, let us see the permanent tissues. This is classified into two main types: simple permanent tissues and complex. Simple permanent tissues means main function is provide support and protection. Main function of the permanent, simple permanent tissue. Complex permanent tissues is mainly the transportation, conduction of food and water. So this is a beautiful this thing. Now, when after the function of the meristem tissues, your next topic is going to be the permanent tissues. Right? Give the headache permanent tissues. Just write permanent tissues have two types: simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. Then start writing difference between the simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. That is it. They contain only one type of cell, simple word, right? Then it's cells of the simple tissues are actively dividing. That is it, sir, and they are found throughout the plant body, epidermis, colon, etc. Complex means they are consist of the different types of cells. They are permanent, dead in nature, and complex tissues have restricted presence. Example is xylem and phloem. They are together combined, they form the vascular bundle. So just give this headache. Permanent tissues, two types, difference between simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Next comes simple permanent tissue. Give the heading simple permanent tissues. Now, what is actually it is? They are composed of simple type of mature cells which perform similar function. Simple, that is why. So these tissues provide support and protection to the plants, and they comprise bulk of plant body. And these simple permanent tissues, they are of three type. It is called parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma, right? And I just like you to say that, I mean, I will discuss this parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma in my next class, right? Let us see the fact zone. Permanent tissues have lost the power of the cell division and remain the same throughout their life, right? And just we have to go through the this is his enrichment and more to know. Sometimes I will give the questions from here also. So parenchyma is generally called the plant filling tissues, divided into photosynthetic parenchyma, a tissue that has got the many chloroplasts because of that, right? So when we'll discuss about the parenchyma, you'll come to really know about that only, right? And then we have got the storage parenchyma. As the word says, must be held for the storage of water and starch in cactus, and air as in the aquatic plants. Very, very important this thing. More to know this thing. I'll just leave it for some time. Just go through. Now, standard 7. I will just wind up this chapter like that only, yeah? And I think I have given you that with the text I'm showing. Every class I will do like that only, yeah? Right? Whether you'll have textbook or not. And that's, and keep on telling you what I told you, the assignment, that you are going to do that. That's your assignment, what I told you that. Give the headache first, chapter 1, plant tissue. You should have the one side ruled notebook must be having, right? When you have got the, that is why I prefer when you buy this book set, I think in your book list must be written one side ruled book. So one side ruled book only you have to take for biology, and write down plant tissue, chapter 1 plant tissue, and whatever the way I told you, keep on writing in your biology. It has to go in your biology notebook, all these notes. So that's all standard 7 biology class. Next class, I will go a little slow so that you should go understand that. I will do the parenchyma, sclerenchyma, and collenchyma. And if the time permits, I'll do the complex tissues also. Right? So that's all your biology class. Good morning, standard 7, and have a nice day. Thank you, children.